welcome back to Therapuss. It is the Monday after Coachella, and I don't feel my very best. And honestly, I barely attended the festival. If we're just being quite honest with you, I went for a little bit on Saturday. I went for a little bit on Friday, and then I really gave it my all on Saturday, to the point where I couldn't make it Sunday. So I had to go home. I took like a nap that was like so biblical today. Also, I'm in the middle of, or I'm about to finish The Leftovers. I'm at the end of season 3. And when I find a show that I'm like so clinical for, first of all, I'm so scared for it to end. I just don't know who I'm going to be without it. I don't really have a show lined up to like binge after it. So I'm a little anxious. I'm going to go back to Veep, which I'm very excited about because I love it. But like there is something to be said for like one of those like thriller, like supernatural, extraterrestrial, like bigger than us shows. And that's what The Leftover feels like with me. And I'm on season 3, episode 7. And season 3, episode 6, I'm going to say that I think that so far was the best episode of the show I've seen. That ending, if I could cry, I would have sobbed. It was super, super, super moving. Anywho, that all goes to say, that's what I did today. I watched The Leftovers and I took a nap. Okay, so here's where I'm between a rock and a hard place. I want to tell you guys about my love life, and I want to be like, I have a date coming up or whatever. But then every time I do that, the person I go on the date with inevitably sends me this. And they're like, what? Like, what are you talking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes super fucking awkward. And I can't decide if that's just something they're going to have to deal with and like the right person will deal with that and think it's sweet, or I wait until after. So I have a date this week. It's essentially what I'm trying to say. I have a date on that. Like, I really want to tell you guys, but I don't want them to find out. So on tonight's episode, we have Sophie Thatcher, who is the star of Yellowjackets, which has been one of my favorite shows since it came out when I was a senior in college. For those that don't know, I'm sure many of you know, but for those that don't know, it's about a soccer team that is flying to a tournament, and that plane crashes in the middle of the wilderness, and they get stranded and they eat each other. But it's also about much more than that. It's very camp. It's amazing. It's like seriously one of my favorite shows. It's so, oh my God, I'm just obsessed with it. And this season was honestly so amazing. Sophie Thatcher played such a big part in why I love this season so much. So being able to like sit down and talk to her was so incredible. I also think she's just like so amazing in general. She released her debut EP last year called Pivot and Scrape. She is in the new movie Companion. Like, she is doing so much. She is so talented. And I'm so happy I got to get to know her more. And I'm so excited for you guys to get to know her more if you don't already. So yeah, I go back on the road May 16th. I begin in San Francisco. To find out if I'm coming to a city near you, go to passthatpuss.com and click Live with Jake Shane. To submit a Tell Me What's Wrong, go to passthatpuss.com, click Tell Me What's Wrong, and leave a name and number if you're feeling fancy. Enjoy tonight's episode. Love you, pussies. Hi, pussies. Welcome back to Therapuss. Today we have on one of my favorite actresses and also musician. She just released her debut EP, Pivot and Scrape. She is the star in this season of Yellowjackets and all seasons of Yellowjackets. I just obviously can't speak. And she is in the new film Companion with Jack Quaid and Lucas Gage. Sophie Thatcher.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh my God, sorry. Like, I was like actually like panicking that I was gonna get one of those wrong, and I was gonna have to redo that, and it was gonna be super awkward.
You slayed.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe we have mutuals in common from Lake Forest.
Lake Forest
is so specific.
Well, Louise was
it's
like,
North Shore, so I get it.
Yeah. Well, Louise was like, you know, she grew up in Lake Forest, and I was like Lake Forest, Illinois, and she was like, yeah. I was like, wait, that's Brett's hometown.
That's crazy.
It's like the craziest mutual to have.
Popcorn.
I know.
That's like a Chicago staple.
I know.
It's amazing.
Do you like the caramel mix?
Oh, yeah. It's the caramel and the cheddar.
Yeah, the cheddar.
The Boy Scouts. Why don't they do that anymore? I feel like there are no Boy Scouts anymore.
There are no Boy Scouts, right?
What happened to because never. Great way to start this. I'm like, what happened?
Wait, do they still do Boy Scouts? There's still Girl
but
Scouts. I
there's
bought fucking cookies from some girl the other day at the Brentwood Country Mart.
There were some at Bristol Farms, and
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
Oh, they sell the Girl Scout cookies at Bristol Farms now?
Yeah.
What's your go-to grocery store?
I guess Bristol now. It was Erewhon because I was living in Silver Lake right next to the Erewhon, next
that's
to
the best
Bar
Erewhon.
4100. It is, but it's, I think, the most sceney.
It is.
It's the most like, you're like, every time you go there, you can't go with your pimple patches.
Yes.
You gotta put on, you don't have to, but for me being a little self-conscious, I have to, dress up a little bit.
I used to go there in college all the time, and I would see everybody I went to school with, like, every day. I need to talk to you about Yellowjackets.
Yeah. You're like, no more grocery stores. Let's get straight to the point.
I can't play coy anymore. Like, I have to talk to you about it. I saved it all for, like, this past week so I could binge it all in one go.
Oh, that's intense. Well, it's a lot to
it was a lot.
binge.
It was a lot.
Because there's a lot going on.
It's just
I can't even remember
a little
everything.
more villainous this season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like your character was kind of painted as like the villain in season 1. Or at least like you were painted as the one that was like going away from the group and not down for like everything that they... And then,
or just the outsider.
Yeah, the outsider.
And she's still the outsider. But it's
different because you're like the outsider in the sense that you want to get the fuck out of there, as opposed to like, you know, like.
Well, I feel like she still has some humanity.
Right.
I feel like the rest of the group doesn't, specifically Shauna.
Wait, so I have
everyone has a very like visceral reaction to Shauna this season because Sophie Knowles is amazing.
No, she's incredible.
So good.
Because I don't remember the last time I've been like, if I see an actress or an actor in person, like I don't know how I'm gonna separate their character. Like she was
it's
that
hard
good.
now. Exactly.
Like she was that good. Oh,
but this season was a big turning point.
Oh my God. Was that like, were you like, do you guys have so much, do you all, like, because it's such an intense plot and intense storyline, like, do you all, like, switch off the second the camera stop rolling, or is it, like, hard when the material is so
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we do. I like this.
Oh, that's
Patrick.
Where's Cassandra?
Where?
Oh my God. Sorry, I just panicked. You just reminded me that.
You have another? Oh,
yeah, this is coming out after the finale. So you can say anything.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Great. Yeah, I feel like we're all pretty good at like keeping it light. I think you have to, or else all of us. I have a thing where I really don't. A lot of the scenes this season are the group scenes.
Right.
And technically it's a pain in the ass because it's so many takes.
Oh, because you have to do this angle and this
it
angle.
It takes probably like 8 hours to do like a 2-page group scene.
No.
Which is insane. And you're just so, it really is a test for any actor, just saying the same line over and over again. It feels like theater to some extent, which I haven't done in a while. So that's the most exhausting when we have a group scene that's like really tense. And,
yeah.
You know, you have to stay in that all day. That's like the only other option is like, I don't know. I feel like we don't really, because we go out, we shot a lot of it in the forest this season, which is similar to season 1, where season 2 was all on like a stage. Yay! Amazing. So it was nice to have that like immersion quality again, but that also means that we don't have our own rooms. So we don't have like our own individual time. So we're doing these group scenes, but then we go to this tent where it's all of us just sitting in these chairs. I brought not my Nintendo Switch, but my Nintendo. Do you remember the game Dogs?
Yeah, of course.
Nintendo Dogs.
Yeah, where the one where Beyonce's like.
That. Yeah. It's like.
Yeah.
So I played that because that was my therapy, and I was like, turn it off.
Do you play it on a DS?
I played it on the DS. I got it off eBay. But that was kind of my way of shutting off. I know some people brought their Switches. Some people would just go mute. We would share memes. We try to bring lightness.
Okay, so I have a few questions. Were you a Pokemon kid?
No, actually.
Oh my God.
I feel like it would make sense for me to be a Pokemon kid.
No, because you brought up Nintendo, and I was like a intense Pokemon kid on Nintendo, but I just got a Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
Yeah.
What games do you have?
I have Mario Kart and Pokemon.
Of course. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to get what's the one? The pink Kirby? Kirby.
Yeah.
I want to get
There's
the
also
Kirby
the
game.
Hello Kitty one that just came out.
Yes,
and I'm
I'm desperate for that
my
one.
childhood.
Were you a Hello Kitty girl?
Of course I was.
Oh, that's amazing. I love Hello Kitty. I have Hello Kitty blanket.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so you talked about like the group scenes being like you would have to do it would take 8 hours for like a 2-page script.
Yeah, I mean that could be an exaggeration, or it could be more.
No, right,
because
right.
it's very dependent on the director and the day and the technicalities of it all.
This season, what for you do you felt like was like the most like if out of all the scenes you're like, oh, that one specifically was so long and hard to film?
Jennifer Morrison did episode 4, which was all the court stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
And because we had to get coverage, it's just the coverage because it's so technical, and getting coverage on everybody was really obnoxious. But because it was her directing, she was so strategic, and it wasn't like, oh, let's feel it out. Like, oh, maybe we'll do coverage on this person, that. She had it all planned out. So it was great. But
Coverage, just like
getting a close-up on this person.
Got it.
And then a wide, a close-up, just
Right.
for the editors to have freedom in the room. But that was hard. And I remember, I had just a couple lines when I was seated, when they were asking me questions in the courtroom scene. And I remember feeling nervous. I was like, this feels like an audition. And I haven't felt that in a while.
Right,
And it's
right.
because all these people were looking at me that I was like, oh my God, this is awful. But I don't know. My mind was going through many, many scenes because the show is not easy.
It's just like I haven't had such a visceral, like you were saying, a visceral reaction to a show, and like I'm yelling at my screen.
That's great.
Yelling.
That's
like,
what we
why?
want.
Like, go home.
I know. No, that
Go
scene.
home.
That's because that already aired. Episode 8.
By the time this comes out, all episodes will be out.
Amazing.
All episodes. So right now, spoiler for those who haven't seen, Hannah disguised herself as you, and you went to the top of the hill to make a phone call. Like that feeling when the line was going up and like you finally made that call. Like oh my God.
I know, we had to do that a lot, and it was a fun experience because we took a helicopter. It was just like 8 of us on this helicopter going up to this mountain. There was no snow,
Right.
so they faked all of it. And that was kind of the point of going there, was to be snow, but there wasn't any snow. But it looked, just because it was so vast,
Right.
and it was so endless, and adding to that feeling of, being so lost in such a huge place, it made her feel so small. And then hearing the voice just added,
Right.
And you almost forget on the show that they get rescued, which I think is interesting. That in that moment, you're like, wait.
They get rescued.
They get, like, because there's a
that's
disconnect
what
to some
makes it sting
extent.
so hard every time like something bad happens. Like when
Yeah.
those 3 people came and Lottie killed the guy.
I know.
Like, you know what I
Everyone's
mean?
like, Lottie.
I'm like, wait, no, they're gonna go home. And like, you know what I mean? Like when Mari was like the final hunt, I'm like, oh my God, no, they're gonna go home.
Mari.
Yeah, I'm like, they're going home. Like, we don't need to do this. Like,
I
that's
know.
the worst part of it all. I'm like, look, they never need to do it. Like, cannibalism
Yeah, of
is
course.
never the answer.
It's
But
never-
like, but like, if only they knew that like they were going home so soon.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? That's what makes
They don't know, and it just shows how truly delusional they are. Like, truly delusional, so out of their minds, can't even fathom going back home. But it's also, there's something sad. I was thinking about this, and I've seen comments about this. The people that want to go home are the people that had the worst lives at home.
I was literally thinking
it
that.
makes me really emotional to think about that.
Yeah, well, Nat has arguably one of the toughest situations.
She doesn't have parents. She doesn't have anything.
And she's leading the charge to leave.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy because Shauna is like, no, let's stay. And it's
you don't really. It's interesting. I'm curious about her background or her home
right.
life.
We don't get
because
much of that.
in the pilot it was like didn't fully go into it.
Right.
But you get a sense that it's like normal middle class, which makes it harder, or it just is such a distinction between her and Shauna, that it just makes it more devastating. But then also you think about Lottie, and it's like she would probably be committed to.
Right, because I totally forgot that she was committed before.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And it would probably be immediately after. It would probably, I mean, I don't know. I haven't gotten the script, so I'm with the fans.
Right.
Where I'm just making assumptions.
Yeah.
I'm making it up. I truly don't know.
It was so funny. The most cathartic moment in that entire series or the entire season for me was when you realized that Misty fucked with the transponder.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And you were like,
I finally get a punch.
You decked her in the face.
Do something.
Yeah, you're like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because it was her fault the whole time. You wouldn't have, like, it's actually her fault.
That's loaded. I don't know. I'm kind of like a Misty defender.
Well, lately I have been too, but when I
Because out of all the other characters, she's better than the other characters.
Well, Shauna and Taissa to me are like evil twins. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they are like...
I think Taissa has some redeeming moments.
She
sometimes.
does. She does.
Or Shauna doesn't.
But I was getting very frustrated when, like, as adults, when they're like, we have to give it what it wants. And then everyone's like, wait, like, maybe no.
No, like,
maybe
that's
no.
We've seen
and
how
Taissa's
this has
like,
worked
no,
in the past.
Yes. Like, you know, but it's like they're so fucked up from this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like... Are you excited to eventually like act out them at home after the wilderness?
That's what I'm most excited about. I feel like as I got just the plot for it, my mind was racing thinking about what would happen immediately because that's such a drastic contrast specifically for my character because that's when she kind of cracks.
Right.
She hasn't cracked yet.
Yeah.
And I want to see
I was
that.
just thinking that as well. She hasn't cracked yet.
She hasn't cracked yet. Everybody else has.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why she still has that, like, humanity. And it's like she's so close to exploding. She's, like, all bottled up.
Right.
And about to explode, but not quite. So I think, I don't know how the writing is going to go next season. If we get next season, I think we will. There's also been talk of that. I'm like, why haven't we don't know yet. But it'll be, got a good feeling.
Yeah.
But that's when she goes down, like, the darkest path.
Right.
And as an actor, it's, like, terrible, but that's really exciting as an actor.
I mean, it's exciting.
Cathartic.
It's also, as a viewer, so cool. Having the show based in the past and the future, and having the past be so unaccounted for, kind of, as the viewer, you don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
There's so much room for, like, creativity in like the writer's room as to what actually goes down up until that pilot episode in the present. Mm-hmm. You know, like anything could have happened. I just think that's so cool. Mm-hmm. Like there's endless possibilities.
Yeah, but I mean, for fans, it's like we've already reached that point with Misty in the pilot. Right. So I think, I don't know if people are expecting that. I think they are to some extent because we're on a pretty fast trajectory as the scientists come in. I was very baffled by people knowing that they were scientists. People on Reddit, I mean, there were just theories that people knew with casting. Like there was the casting that had come out, and people were like, "Oh, they're playing the people that come."
But how did people know that?
I keep thinking that it's through like sides and through auditions that people start talking.
Oh, got it. Because
I'm like, why wouldn't you give dummy sides? But I also don't know. I'm very confused by all that because it's
not
random.
Like based on a book or anything, is it?
No, it's not.
Right, like so.
It's
like,
not. And it's like it's so specific.
Right.
No,
scientists?
Of course the scientists come.
What?
It's
crazy. What's the craziest theory you've seen that you're like, oh, come on?
I mean, I don't really pay attention to that. I mean, I was on Reddit the first season, and all I saw was her roots. She doesn't have roots. And all they would talk about was my hair. And I was
hair?
I was like, just pay attention to my acting.
Gorgeous hair.
Thank you. But it was a wig because it was just like the time. It was hard to... My hair was really short, and they had a show time, yada, yada. So I wore a wig, and all the comments were on that. So I was like, God damn it, I can't win.
Something to take from a show about women crashing into a forest and then eating each other.
Her roots, which I get. That's whatever. It was COVID. I was like in my dark room in New York, just looking at Reddit, like a like dark phase of my life.
Oh my God, like I have chills thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly. I was
chills.
like,
moving on.
I am being perceived.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
You said something about like it felt like being in an audition back in that courtroom scene, and that got me thinking about, is it true that you auditioned for Yellowjackets off a self-tape and you like read lines off a computer?
Oh God.
Is that true?
It's true.
Please tell me everything.
Well, I was shooting this. Do you remember Quibi?
What is Quibi again?
Quibi was when they were trying to make the
Like
really
short
short,
form.
yes,
Short
form. But then COVID happened, so everybody was craving, binging and being immersed into everything. So
Right.
it didn't fully work out. But I was doing a Quibi show. I was in Vancouver where it shoots. And I shot it. I shot the audition with one of my co-stars, and it was really quick. Juliette wasn't attached yet. I think I read the character description. I was like, okay, I can just wear my normal clothes. I had the mullet at the time. It was actually more because I had been cutting it myself, so it was like a bowl cut and then long hair. So it wasn't even a mullet. It was something in between.
It was a DIY.
It was a DIY
Yeah.
confusion haircut.
Right.
But I did it. I think I did it in a couple takes. I knew that like the character was easy. It was like I've done it before. It was similar to the character that I was playing in the show.
Right.
Did it, sent it off. It's really bad. Sometimes I don't memorize. A lot of actors do that.
Really?
I cannot lie. Well, it depends on the script. It depends on the audition. Sometimes it's just innate, which sounds like you just know.
Yeah,
you know. And sometimes some actors are good at cold reading, and sometimes the cold read is the most honest take.
Cold reading is like
cold reading is just saying it for the first time.
Got it.
Which is not always like the first time.
Oh, how interesting.
I'd probably read it like a couple times.
Got it.
And then I said it, and it was just kind of already, not that I had it memorized, but like I understood it. So it was easy in that regard, but I think just because the character was close to who I was when I was younger, whereas if I do another audition that's far more technical, I can't do that. I can't pull that off. But forgot about it. It was doing a million self-tapes at the time. And then a month later, I think I was in Popeyes in Bushwick getting a chicken sandwich.
Yum.
Probably had a couple drinks. And then my agents called being like, remember that audition you did? You booked it. And I was like, wait.
You even did call back? Nothing?
Which? No callback. No, nothing. Which I've never, especially so early on in my career to have that. Right. I was like, this is a joke, right? This is a joke. And then I think they were talking about Juliette wasn't attached yet, but they were saying that they were looking at Juliette to play the older me. Because everyone talks about like me. Of course, I matched Juliette, but it was weird that I was cast first.
Yeah.
But it kind of just worked out perfectly.
Dude, I've never seen such incredible younger versus older casting ever.
Yeah,
I feel like people always say that about the show.
Casting directors haven't gotten more, like they need me.
And you know who's so underrated? Younger versus older Van. Like,
yes.
Right? Like
Lauren?
they look
I know.
so
they look
much
so
alike.
much alike, and it's the same physicality.
Yes.
It's a lot of the same mannerisms. It's a lot of the same cadences.
Well, you and Juliette specifically also have that.
We kind of already had that.
Right. Okay.
But I do like certain things that I know that Juliette would do something like that. Where it's just kind of like a more heightened version of me when I was shooting the pilot, I think. But yeah, Lauren is so good. Liv is so good. And I think, oh my God, at the end of this season, their scenes together, it's so Twin Peaks, and it's so devastating.
I know.
And it always comes back to the airplane when somebody's dying.
Yeah.
When they see themselves on the screen, that feels like a nightmare.
Oh my God.
That when they see themselves dying on the screen, it's so meta. It's
and they're
so
like,
devastating.
I'm dead.
And they're like, what? This is it? I know.
One thing I always get so I think what the show does so well is it kind of makes you feel like you're in psychosis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, wait. And I think that's what it does so well. It's like, is there a supernatural thing going on? Like, no, there can't be. Like, have we just, as viewers, been in the woods for so long as well?
That we don't,
Like, the show is so immersive, and I think it's so
immersive.
cool.
It's psychological, and it's not, I like that it's very genre bending, and
Yeah.
you don't know when it's lying to you or not, or playing with you.
Right.
Because it plays tricks with you, and I love shows that do that. I think
does.
the best shows
It does.
do that. And I think this season specifically, it's very like self-aware of its campiness.
Yes, 100%.
It's always been that way, but I think specifically this season, where it goes into more of the montages and it's very like dependent on the music, but in a beautiful way where the music can heighten it and make it more emotional. Yeah, I'm proud of this season. I think this season, specifically towards the end, there are a lot of some answers. Not
there are
all.
some answers. I mean,
Which
it's
is
funny
better
because
than
we
nothing.
have the answer from the opening scene of season 1,
Which is what people,
Which is
that's
what-
all the talk.
which is all the talk
Yeah.
and what people wanted the whole time. But it's like, at that point, it felt so much. It's so interesting because when we first see that, we aren't attached to a single character yet.
No, totally.
And we're
You're
so,
it's
like-
so just
We're so
taken
like, oh
aback.
my God, who is it? Who is it?
Yeah.
And then it's so much more sad. It's
I
so much
know.
more like heartbreaking to
especially
realize
with,
who it is.
I know, with Mari.
Yeah.
You really grow attached to her.
Yeah. Especially through the 3rd season.
Through the 3rd season, you're
Yeah.
like, this girl's funny. She's kind of self-aware. And Alexis, she's so good. She's such a good actor and like had time to shine that it like really, to build that empathy and then to
Right.
finally just let go just makes it all the more, you know, drastic and heartbreaking.
Was there... Okay, so do you guys do like a table read for each episode? Is that how
I
that...
wish.
Okay, because I was about to say
That's a
like...
blessing. I love when shows do that.
Right?
But it's just hard with all of our schedules and a lot of
Okay.
people have children. So we did that a little bit in the 2nd season. We did that with the 1st season, which is good for me to just hear Juliette.
Yeah.
And I missed that. But now it's like I've got that pretty dialed in, so I don't worry about that as much. But I like it just to hear the modern day actors and just to see what's going on. But then I also like watching it blind and it feeling like a different show,
Right, right.
which it kind of does to some extent.
Was there ever like something in the script that you and everyone was like, oh my God, like all so kind of gagged by? Like, do you remember a moment of like all texting each other being like, holy fuck, I can't believe
I mean,
this?
yeah, I mean, lots. I guess we all knew Ben was gonna die.
Oh, that was so... And they prolonged it for so
They really did.
long.
They really did.
And
Yeah.
it's almost like you felt it with him. Like, okay, at this point, just fucking kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, just
Which kind of
fucking kill
worked.
him.
Which worked.
Yeah.
Because it was like they had the trial and they were like, oh, we're going to do it now. And then it didn't happen. But, I mean, Steven's so good. That scene is really hard to shoot because he is family. He truly is family
Right.
to all of us at this point. And the 1st season is like, God, we would all party at his house. I would drink so much. Everyone would drink so much White Claw. It was COVID. Everybody was crazy. And he was just like, I don't know, would host and just be like, he's a beautiful guy.
Right.
And he's just really kind. And I thought he was so good in that episode and so good this season, just in the show. But it was hard. I'm glad that they chose Natalie for that.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I think it added to her depth and to her guilt and made her, of course, more fucked up and closer to the Juliette version. But they always had like a special, specific bond
Yeah, they
where there was
did.
trust. There was trust involved.
I think this season showed so much of Nat's humanity, and it was so cathartic to see. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, like in a show kind of filled with like a lot of anti-heroes and a lot of like bad
Where you're
people
very
turned bad.
self-aware. Yeah.
It's so it was so nice to have one person that just like never let the viewer down ever. Oh my
I want
God.
to cry. I had a moment when I was starting after we had stopped, we'd finished season 3. I would start talking about her and start crying, which I've never had, but I think it's because I've grown up with her.
Right.
And I call it Yellowjackets University. The most, it's not Puss University.
Yeah.
Puss. I said Puss. Very different. The most fucked up university, but like growing with Natalie has been like experience of a lifetime. And I
can't
know
even
that I'll
imagine.
have other characters where I feel so close, but like maybe not for a bit.
No, and I even as a viewer, like I know I keep saying that, but like I feel felt such emotion like watching Natalie this season and like watching just like her make all these tough decisions against the group.
It's against, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how hard is that?
Yeah.
Because all they have is each other and like,
yeah.
oh my God, when you handed the knife, like all these things, like you were the catalyst in making all these really important decisions. And I was like saying to like Louise, like before you got here, I was like, oh my God, like I don't know how I'm going to separate her from her character being like, it was just, I want to like worship everything you do. Like it was, you were perfect.
She's a hero.
Yeah.
But that last monologue that Melanie has where she's like, I was a fucking queen.
Oh my God, I got chills.
Me too.
I got chills. I got chills. I was like, wait, fuck you. Like,
I know, fuck you, but like, God, like Melanie.
Oh, she is. When that
she is a fucking queen.
She is a queen. She is a queen. But Sophie, props to her for like that quick turn, because you go from feeling like really bad, even though she's like doing some shitty things. It's like that full. Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
I haven't. It's
okay.
That.
Well, there's like
The Wire that I haven't seen.
Okay, you gotta watch Breaking Bad. I haven't seen The Wire, so I can't speak for The Wire. But Breaking Bad's one of my favorite shows of all time, and there is this, he's doing all these bad things. He's like kind of this anti-hero, but there's this moment in the show where he like breaks bad essentially and becomes this.
He breaks bad?
Like
Breaking
bad? But like he becomes this like true villain.
Yeah,
and I feel like Shauna had her Breaking Bad moment this season and became the villain. With the help of Hannah. With the help from Hannah.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. And in addition to Yellowjackets, you are also a musician. You just released your debut EP.
I'm like, oh,
Yellowjackets University,
school.
AP. Sorry, that was so cringe that I said that. AP, Pivot and Scrape. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you enjoy making music more or acting, or is it just different? I know it's such a tough question.
It's different. There are a lot of similarities. I feel like music is still so foreign to me that it's more exciting.
Right.
Whereas like I've been acting since I was 3 years old. I've been acting professionally since I was like 10, started with theater. So it's still foreign to me, but I have a good sense of what to expect usually when I go into a project. But with music, it's like I haven't even done live shows yet. It's kind of just a very internal process that when it's shared, it's way more scary. And I was releasing the songs as I was shooting Yellowjackets, and I was so much more stressed out about that over shooting because I was like, I know.
Well, it's so intimate, so personal. Yellowjackets isn't your story.
It's not my story, which people assume a lot of the time that I am Natalie, which is interesting, but kind of, it's going to happen if that's your first role in anything. But with music, it's my first love. I feel so much more passionately about it. I look up to musicians, where it's like with actors, I never really like fangirl over actors because, I have my inspirations, of course, and I look up to people, but with musicians, it's like this other realm of, tapping to something really, it's different. It's very different to me.
Right. Who are some of the musicians you look up to?
A lot of them are gone now. Elliott Smith is my number one. I have Elliott Smith tattoo. Fiona Apple, Arthur Russell, Cass McCombs, so many people. And I'm always like wary of talking about people that are around now because I'm like, it's sensitive and I don't want to like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's sensitive in the way that like, I don't know. I don't want to like bring them up and then see them be like, hey, brought you up in that interview.
No, but you're complimenting them.
I know,
but you're complimenting. But I understand it's a social anxiety.
It's a social
anxiety. I 100% get it. But you are complimenting them.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
not like, I'm actually aim to not be like them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think music is... I know exactly what I want with music, and I know exactly my taste. And I'm still trying to figure out my taste with picking projects right now.
Like for acting.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I know what I like, but like picking project wise and like getting scripts now, it's interesting to try to like decipher what resonates with me and what doesn't, because sometimes the second time you read a script, you really like it. And it depends on your mood that day. Whereas with music, it's like, I kind of know immediately. It's
it's a
much
guttural
more,
feeling.
It's a guttural, in tune feeling. Whereas with scripts, it's like it can change, and it's so entirely dependent on the crew and like having a conversation. It's like it's less intuition based.
What type of projects do you typically lean towards? Because I feel like you're in mostly like not.
I'm doing horror.
Like
it's okay.
horror, thriller,
Everyone's like, so how's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was drawn to that. I made a lot of I have a twin sister.
Yes.
And we made zombie movies when we were younger.
Oh, did you really?
Oh yeah.
iMovie?
iMovie, of course.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to use anything else.
Right.
But it was all that. So it's like, of course, it's a very natural path. I'm insanely lucky to be where I'm at right now, and insanely lucky to be in such like elevated projects where it's not, purely based upon jump scares. It's based upon, something psychological and far more human and far more timely and like real topics that a lot of people choose not to talk about. So I guess, I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot of it, so I just want to choose projects where I haven't where it's new territory.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, it's a director that I want to work with that will teach me something.
100%.
Or it's like, this is a character that I haven't played. I never want to repeat something.
What do you feel like are some of the most important lessons you've learned thus far, like from Yellowjackets, from Companion, from your projects, essentially?
I don't know, because people never really outwardly give advice, which is always like, and I'm never asking for it out of like my own, keeping my own whatever. I guess this is a basic answer, but it's true. Standing up for yourself, you have a lot more say than you think.
Yes.
And if you don't like something, you have to say it immediately, or else you're going to be beating yourself up about it every day. And even if it's a little thing, even if it's like a hair and makeup thing, if it's one line that like kills you and you just can't say it, sometimes when a line doesn't work. And it's like, it's just you. It's like, it doesn't work. You say that, tiny things like that make a difference and they add up. And if you can like bring it up in a way that is, normal and nonchalant, then it's fine.
Right.
And I'm still trying to figure that out and figuring out how to use my voice. But I remember even like talking to Juliette and texting her the first season just over like little random things. And she was like, just say something. Like, it's really easy. And I'm like, to me, I was like, oh, that's an option.
Right, because this was like your first major,
it was my first
project.
So I was like, all I was thinking about was my goddamn reputation. And I was so keen on like, I'm the easiest person to work with.
100%.
Like, Sophie's easy. Like, she can do anything. I'm like, no, like, make it a good experience. Make it good for everyone.
Yeah, it's hard. It's sometimes difficult. I feel like, especially in your 20s, to learn that like easy doesn't mean you silent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was quiet. Like,
Right.
I didn't think that most things that I say now were an option.
Right.
So that's like a big thing where it wasn't as obvious as I expected.
Did you and Juliette talk? Do you still talk a lot?
We do. I saw her at this wildfire benefit show, and I'd never seen her play live, and she's crazy.
Yeah.
She's a rock star. She's like Mick Jagger, and that was fun to see her live. But I haven't seen her in a while, and I miss her. And I definitely feel it's interesting watching the show now and feeling the loss of her presence, because she really does. I mean, she fulfills Natalie. She has so much.
Was it hard to shoot without her? Or not hard, like...
It was hard to watch without her.
Yeah.
Because it was hard to get... I mean, I read the scripts, but, like, you feel the weight of her not being there because she has so much... She's such a rich actor and has so much presence on screen that, of course, when you lose an actor like that, you feel that. And I feel like... I mean, obviously, she's the other half, but, like, she's the other Natalie. Like, she is... such a different Natalie, and it like is so interesting to see the comparison between the two of us. That to lose that was sad, but also I had to get used to it at some point. A couple episodes in, I was like, oh, she's not coming back.
Yeah. Did she did she kind of serve as like a mentor for you in that space?
Yeah, never like, like very specific advice, but more of just that feeling of somebody has your back no matter what.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more intimate and strange than sharing a character. And it's like, I might not ever have that again, especially in a TV show.
Right.
That is a very strange, and that's why Yellowjackets is special. It's because you don't have a lot of shows where it's that 20-year jump.
Yeah.
So it's this weird unspoken thing where we have that, and I know that every actor on the show has that with their counterpart.
Right.
Okay, I have...
Hi, you ghosted me. You ghosted me for a little bit.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I miss you so much.
So, Cass, I am partnering with SeatGeek, and they are offering me +1 to the Elvis reunion tour, and I'm bringing you, and they're going to fly us to Vegas, and it's going to be amazing, and we're going to meet Elvis.
Hello?
Are you down for that?
When the fuck?
2 weeks. Are you down?
Aren't you in New York in 2 weeks?
It's right after I leave New York.
Absolutely.
Have you ever met...
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen Elvis?
Jake? I'm looking this up right now because you're definitely fucking with me.
No, I'm not
He
fucking
died.
with you.
Elvis Presley is dead. Elvis Presley died
You really
in
did.
1977.
You didn't know he died?
So I'm gonna kill you because I heard that you had tickets and you're bringing me, and I'm gonna freak out.
But did you?
You got me excited.
Well, Cass, SeatGeek is one of the #1 ticket partners in the entire world. If you use my code Therapuss10, you get 10% off your ticket order. So while we can't see Elvis, maybe we can see someone else this summer on SeatGeek. All tickets. Right. All tickets are rated on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not so good, 10 being the best. So yeah, maybe we can find another show to see together.
Instead of Elvis. Okay, got it.
No worries. While I am not going to see Elvis with Cassidy, I am still going to use SeatGeek to see one of the many, many, many artists on tour this summer. For example, I missed Gaga at Coachella this weekend. So I am going to definitely use SeatGeek to see the Mayhem tour. I am so excited. I need to get out of the house. Live music is seriously one of my favorite things in the entire world. Not only do they have music, they have comedy, they have plays, they have literally anything you can imagine. The SeatGeek app is free to download and super easy to use. I mean, tonight I could see the Sacramento Kings. I could see the Rock Orchestra by Candlelight. I could see literally anybody I want, okay? I could see Mamma Mia. I can see Kevin Hart. I'm going to click that I need 2 tickets. So it's going to say the ticket price for each ticket and then the score next to the ticket. So this says 10, amazing deal. And then like down here it says 9, and so it seems like there's really just only good tickets on here. Oh, see, this is with a 1. This is not such a good deal. But the SeatGeek app is literally the easiest thing to use. You guys know I came through for you again. Use code Therapuss10 for 10% off your order on SeatGeek.com. That's 10% off tickets with promo code Therapuss10 at SeatGeek.com. Make sure you click the link in the description so you can download the app and automatically have the code applied to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring tonight's episode. What are you therapist about?
Therapist.
Like angry. What are you angry about?
I mean, there's too much. Well, you go first.
Okay, so
To
today,
inspire
mine's a little
some-
more superficial.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Today I was working out and
Good for you. I don't work out.
thanks. And I lifting weights to the treadmill, but I did one last thing that sent me over the edge. I never have panic attacks ever.
Really?
And ever.
I do.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah, they so.
And I had one today after I so I pushed myself too hard and then I got really nauseous and then I started panicking about how nauseous I was and then I got really hot and then I couldn't feel my hands and I was like, oh my God, I'm having a panic attack. and I had to run outside and lay down, and it was so embarrassing. Like I just felt so embarrassed.
No.
I was like, and they were like, everyone
Was
was
that
like,
your first panic attack?
my second. My first one was the most random story you'll ever hear in your
Oh my
entire
God,
life.
what happened?
Somebody was telling a story about someone taking Viagra, and like the idea of somebody taking Viagra and just like having a situation that like couldn't go down. Like,
you were like, God, I
gave
feel
me
that.
like a panic attack, and I ran outside the restaurant. I was like, my best friend Alice was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "The Viagra story. Like, I think I'm having a panic attack." And those are the only 2 times I've ever had a panic attack.
That's hilarious.
Once about Viagra, once in the Aloe gym.
Wow, I'm so sorry you had. Well, I have a lot of fucking anxiety.
Yeah.
But that's always when I have where it's like the out of body, like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack type sensation. So I'm pissed at panic attacks.
Question for you. I don't know why this just reminded me of this, because maybe it's because I always watch TV when I go to bed, but what are you watching? I always ask my guests that.
I mean, White Lotus, of course.
White Lotus.
White Lotus.
Have you ever seen The Leftovers?
I haven't, but Jasmine's on that.
Okay,
Jasmine's on that?
I just started it.
People are saying it's a masterful, like very underrated show.
Yes, and the woman from The White Lotus, I think
Carrie
Coon is on it, and she is incrable.
She's so good. She's such a
and
character actor.
You need to watch
She
Leftovers.
comes from Chicago theater too, and I
Really?
come from Chicago theater, not to her extent, but she's like in the Chicago scene. She is God.
Well, she's incredible. She's incredible in The White Lotus too.
I know she shines.
I don't know if you've ever had like a friend group like that, but like, I'm
I've
like
never
watching
had,
it. I'm
I
like,
don't really have like a trio, and I mean, my friends are pretty blunt,
okay.
and I'm pretty blunt.
Well, I've been in trios like that.
Awful chills. Ugh.
No, and like Louise would be like, girl, like, because you know
who would you be out of the trio?
You're everyone.
You're
all
everyone.
of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
You're
everyone.
always- which is
I
why
was
it's
never
such a good-
Jacqueline. I was Leslie.
Yeah. Oh,
Like Leslie's, in my opinion, the messiest out of all 3 of them.
interesting.
Jacqueline acts does what she does.
Yeah.
Carrie Coon's character is like, she says it like it is.
Yeah.
And then Leslie's character is the one whispering in Jacqueline's ear and Carrie's ear.
She is.
And then denying
she's
it and playing the field.
She's not. She's the least calculated.
I would argue that she's the most.
Oh.
Yes, because she wants to maintain that like equilibrium.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't even know why I attempted that fucking
Equilibrium.
word. Yeah. But yeah, she wants to like maintain her place as like kind of, but she wants to like be the one that each of them are closest with.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, this season is so fun. I'm obsessed with Amy.
Oh, obsessed with Amy.
I want her to be in everything.
She is
And I want
so
to be her
fucking
best
good.
friend. And so natural and so like charming. I
So
haven't seen
charming.
an actor like that in a while that just oozes charisma. I mean, same with Parker Posey.
Right.
I met Parker at the Valentino show, and she was like breakdancing on the floor, and I was like, "You're party, like this is party girl. This is everything I could have ever dreamed for."
She's incredible.
An icon, and it made me excited to just like keep acting, and like she's my icon. Like I look up to her so much that to have like a night with her was so special.
Right.
And then to watch her in White Lotus, again, it's just like some people ooze presence.
Yes.
Where it's like some people just have an immediate presence on screen.
Right.
And it's nothing you can teach yourself. No
Right.
acting class can teach that. Where Amy and her just have that.
Yeah. And I really noticed it with Amy in the last episode where are you caught up?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
do
just
you
watched last
remember
night.
the episode or this moment where the French girl is trying to convince Patrick Schwarzenegger's character to like stay with her and the guy?
Yeah.
And Amy's like, oh, all right, babe, like, good night. Like,
Yeah.
casual, but just like she stole the scene.
Exactly.
So the scene wasn't even about her.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she stole the entire scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, you watch Abbott Elementary?
No, I
Ugh,
haven't.
you
I've
got
heard
to
great
watch
things.
Abbott. It's like
Yeah.
Principal Ava. Like she
Yeah.
steals the scene
It's like one line.
everything she's in.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other. I'm a big cartoon person.
I was a cartoon person as like a kid. I loved like Studio Ghibli, and
I just watched Princess Mononoke in theaters. I took a little gummy before. Bawled my eyes out.
Really.
I mean, I had the big Princess Mononoke poster in my room. Claire Danes is my favorite, so her voicing San. I think it's the most adult one out of all because it's like Spirited Away is the most
Right.
famous.
Totoro.
That's probably the most famous.
No. Spirited Away is definitely the most famous, but then Totoro's like the other one.
Princess Mononoke, I mean, I forget how dense it is and how.
What's it about? I've never seen.
I mean, I don't know how to describe. It's like war against humans and animals, and it's about environmentalism and so many just like very adult topics. That
Right.
to have that in a seemingly like a children's animation, it's nothing about it. It's very adult. It's beautiful. It's all painted and it's all. It's interesting. I was talking to my friends about this. The AI Studio Ghibli shit that's been going around.
I didn't.
Do you know what I'm talking
no,
about?
Will you enlighten me?
I'm not on Twitter, but my friends are all. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. My friends are all on Twitter. I hate Twitter.
Yeah.
But everyone's like taking a picture of themselves and then AI generating it into Studio Ghibli, and it's gone too far with like really discussing things.
Got it.
But seeing that and then seeing an actual Studio Ghibli movie with all of it just like hand painted, taken years, it's just offensive.
Did you learn a lot about AI while doing Companion?
No, I tried. I mean, I'm like, hey, I learned a lot of what not to say in press and stuff. I mean, it's interesting that I keep choosing very interesting movies and then don't think about it for the press cycle where I'm like, oh, this is going to be tricky. But it was fine. It's hard because we had the writer's strike, and that was, I think AI takes away from anything original and any creativity. And it's sad to me personally when I see artists using AI for inspiration or for anything. I'm like, it's just taking away from who we are as humans.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
It's a bummer, in my opinion.
It makes it so easy. I wonder how kids really. I mean, how can you? I mean, there's going to be. I wonder if there is checkers to see if things are AI, because like, how are kids not just cheating on everything?
I keep thinking, and that's like the point of conversation where I mean, I was cheating a lot as a kid.
Oh my God, I cheated on everything. Wait, I posted.
But that's an art in and of itself. If you can cheat well, then you can go far in life.
I cheated like a motherfucker, and I posted on my story yesterday. Like I responded to someone being like, "I'm really anxious about cheating," and I said, "Well, I cheated on everything, and I never felt bad."
I was like, "No guilt."
My high school teacher swiped up with a sad face. Do you want to get into the tell me what's wrongs?
Yeah. I was like, oh God, yes.
My long-term boyfriend and I broke up a little less than 1 year ago. He also happened to break up with me when I was going through the worst point in my life. He started hooking up with another girl like a week after we broke up, and I found out that they're dating now.
Interesting.
I know I'm up and that I turned out better for it, but I still have a hard time moving on / getting over it. Help me. Have you ever been through a breakup?
Of course.
Okay, I have not. So
yeah, I mean, that's devastating. How they said they dated a year? How long?
She said.
They didn't say.
They just said long term.
Long term.
Yeah.
To have a long term and then have somebody move on so quickly.
Right. And
that's a slap in the face.
Right. Has that ever happened to you?
Not a week.
Yeah, a week is crazy.
That's offensive. That's like, but how do you find that? Like, that's like you post about it. That's clearly strategic where it's like trying to hurt you.
Right.
And that's not a person you want to be with.
Right.
Where that feels very impulsive. That feels like you want to be with somebody that's, like takes their time and is like not like that. But also, how did she? I don't know. I have a lot of questions.
So that is something we always miss from the pussies. We always miss context.
Yeah.
And we don't know much. But like, do you have any prescriptions, like musical suggestions or movie or TV show suggestions that'll help them get through it? Like,
yeah, I mean, Fiona Apple always. If I want to hate on men, which I don't. That's not a person you want to be with. If they're that impulsive, that's childish. I think that's childish, and that's just like, you can do better. She said she is aware, or they are aware, that they've done, like, they are better now. So hold on to that.
I prescribed Lose You to Love Me by Selena Gomez.
Yeah, there you go.
How good was that prescription? Like, I literally, like, I don't, okay, so I already know that you're, like, not involved in this lore, but, like, I just killed that. What, you're gonna...
No, you 1,000%.
Like, I literally just, like, I took a chomp of something, I ate it, and, like, the plate's clean.
Nice.
Okay, so in Lose You to Love Me, I'm so sorry. I was just so excited that I did such a good job with that.
I meant explain what a prescription is.
Oh.
Therapist.
Like, I needed guiding help. Like, sorry. I'm realizing I haven't explained to you what the prescription is.
Yeah. Prescription?
It's like a prescription, but we're puss-scribing things because it's the pussies. And it's like comes in the form of like media. So it's like a song or a TV show or a movie or a book. Or it could be anything.
Jonathan, Fiona Apple.
Got it. You know, I've never listened to Fiona Apple. I know I need to get into her.
Come on.
Will you get me to watch? What do I listen to get into her?
I mean, Title's the first record that she made. She wrote a lot of the songs when she was 16.
Wow.
Which kind of makes you feel bad about yourself, too, where you're like, I wasn't doing that when I was 16.
That's like Lord.
Lord, I know. It's similar.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, how does one have so much talent when they're still in high school doing calculus or whatever the hell?
Right.
I never did. I don't
well, you
know
were
why I said
homeschooled,
that.
right?
I was homeschooled, yeah.
Right.
And homeschooling is like a joke. I was in and out of school a lot, but homeschooling is, you really have to teach yourself. It's not.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I've been hooking up with my coworker and nobody knows. But now he's hooking up with another one of our coworkers and is trying to hide it from me. Do I confront or just quit?
Or just quit. I'm going to be honest. I hate drama. I'm a Libra. I like my balance.
Oh, you do hate drama.
I don't.
You're a
gives
peacekeeper.
Where I'm just like, works with Natalie.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. I'm like Natalie in that way. We're like thinking about drama. I'm like, ugh. I love hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not involved, like, give me.
Right.
I don't say quit because, like, you know,
No,
you gotta,
why
you gotta
fuck up
make
your
that money.
bag?
Make that money.
Yeah.
That's not your own fault. Distance yourself. Distance yourself. That person is messy.
Yes.
That person is messy, and you need to focus on yourself. Also, it's a job. It's a job. Sometimes it's hard when you get like too close with people on jobs. I've never really had that where it's like, you know, but focus on yourself, focus on the job, and let it be a job. Distance yourself in a healthy way. I'm trying to think of something to
I feel like
prescribe.
sometimes we like fuck. Like sometimes I'm like I can't think of anything.
I can't.
Like,
I know. I'm like a song.
The prescription
this
is
is
the
a specific.
advice.
Exactly.
I think she also needs to stay unbothered. Like stay unbothered.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
And
like that makes people the most angry.
Oh, totally. But also stay away because that person seems a little messy.
Mm-hmm. This one's tricky. My long-term boyfriend and my best friend are flirting in front of me every day. What should I do? It's awful. So I actually know of a situation like this, and
That's not a best friend.
well, here's where it gets tricky.
Okay.
So
I would be
the girl
I don't even know what I would
could,
do.
or whoever could just be projecting as well. You know, like there's, in my opinion, like I knew these people, and this girl thought that her best friend was flirting with her boyfriend, and she said something, and then after that, their friendship was never the same, and they were like this. And I mean, to this day, it's like I don't. Like, you know, I don't know if they're actually flirting or they're just projecting.
Not the best friend, but the
person
dating.
The person that's in the relationship. Like, okay, let's call that.
That can be an insecurity thing too.
Yeah, you don't know if they're just projecting.
Yes, it can be an insecurity thing where it's like you're already insecure about your own
Relationship, yes.
So that when you see somebody getting close, you assume the worst.
Right.
And I understand that mentality. It's just like that's anxious attachment right there.
But I would feel like I think I would also look inward and be like, is it just a trust issue I have with my boyfriend? But
exactly. No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Boyfriend.
Right. Like, let's blame the boyfriend first before we blame the best friend.
Oh, no, totally. Yeah.
But also, I am curious. Like, maybe get like a third party involved. Like, be like, do you think they're flirting? Like,
For sure.
Like, you know, get someone
but
involved.
Then that can also get more messy.
Yeah, but like, it's still cleanable.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we can still clean it.
Going directly to the best.
It'll fuck up your relationship forever.
If I had a best friend, I can't even imagine.
Right.
If I had a best friend saying that to me,
you just would feel so embarrassed. You're like, oh my God, I wasn't flirting.
That affects it. It's just awkward. At the end of the day, it's just awkward.
Right.
Especially if it's not that, and you can tell that it's just insecurity. But that's tricky.
Also, like, if it's your long-term boyfriend and best friend, like, say it out loud. It makes sense that your long-term boyfriend and best friend are friends and close.
Yeah,
and
that's
not,
like
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yes.
And I feel like maybe this girl, someone said something to her, like they flirt, but it's like, something inside of me said, like, I just want to see the good, but something inside of me says it's projection.
Mm-hmm. Reevaluate.
Yeah. I have come to terms with the fact that I probably need to seek help for my OCD. I'm very overwhelmed. Do you have OCD?
Yeah, I do.
Me too, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, that's why I went on Prozac, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very overwhelmed with the idea of starting the process and wanted to know if you had any tips. I love that you're comfortable sharing your experience with the world. Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi. I still have it, and it's just kind of about finding the right therapist, and finding the right therapist is like that's like so exhausting. And I've seen millions of therapists.
It's like dating.
It's like dating, where it's just, you can't, even if they're a great person, sometimes it's not a match, and the communication is not there. It's not the same. It's not the banter you want. It's not the. Right. Sometimes you want somebody to, really check you, or sometimes you want somebody to agree with you.
I think for OCD, it depends. OCD is so different for so many different people. But
it's
for
so different.
me, what really worked is starting meds and at the same exact time starting exposure therapy.
What's that again?
So it's like, okay, so like my OCD, like I have really bad rituals. So
And
so it's like I had to like look at myself a certain amount of times in the mirror before I turned off the lights. So like an exposure therapy would be like, because this was during COVID, like having her on Zoom and like turning off the lights without looking in the mirror and then like sitting there and that uncomfortableness, but also being on meds to like learn how to push away those thoughts. So like that for me was really helpful. I know this sounds so stupid. I used to have a lot of trouble adding songs to a playlist. Like, I would have to do it 4 times over, and it would drive me crazy because I'm very passionate about my playlist. Yeah, one part of my exposure therapy would be just add the song and then sit there with it. And I think, like, finding a good exposure therapist and starting a medication that works for you personally, for me.
Absolutely. There's so many different kinds of therapy. I'm actually... I think everyone should be in therapy no matter what. Mm-hmm. And there's so many, and you can try a specific kind of therapy and maybe it doesn't work. And then you try another. You just have to be open. And it's such a long process, but like you have to be open. Sometimes it takes years, and that's so frustrating. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just having somebody that has your back. Because for me, it was like, I have a lot of tics that like when I get nervous, I like do a lot of like specific tics, or I like suck in my cheeks when I'm really nervous, and all these things that I still do. But when I had a therapist, it really helped to just calm it down. And like, she was aware, my boyfriend's always aware and clocks it, and it's just like a signal. He can tell that I'm not in my right mind. So this is Katie. I don't know. I think it's good to be open about OCD, and so many people have OCD and are not aware of it.
Right.
And are not aware of it at all.
I only knew I had it because I've had it since I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I only knew I had it because I knew that there was this show on VH1. I don't know if anyone remembers it. It was called OCD Rehab with Dr. Drew. And it was like celebrities with OCD would come. And I don't know if it was celebrities, but it was people with OCD would come and go through like this reality television rehab with their OCD. And I was like, ooh, this sounds weirdly familiar. I think that's what I have.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have OCD. And then in the show Girls on HBO, I don't know if you...
Okay, I went for Halloween. I had a tooth, the pick in my ear.
No.
I went to a party just like that, and I was like, I'm Lena Dunham.
Wait, that's my favorite show of all time.
Were you on the Girls podcast?
Yes, I was.
Okay, I knew it. I was like...
I was. Were you on the Girls podcast?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, they're great.
I follow.
They're great.
And that's a go-to-sleep show. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's like, that show's so good.
Have you watched Have you done a rewatch yet of the show?
Of course. I've watched it. I've rewatched it like 3 times.
What was the hardest which one hit the hardest for you? Mine was like the first rewatch out of college.
I rewatched it second season of Yellowjackets when I actually was their age. Because my mom was watching the show. I was like 13 when I watched it the first time.
Me too.
Where
and
I'm
like, I don't get it.
I was like, oh, these fools. And now I get it a little bit more, but also don't, because I'm like, these characters are so insufferable. They're so endlessly watchable that it almost, if I want to feel better about myself, I go to that show or I go to BoJack Horseman to feel
My
better
mom
about
loves
myself.
BoJack Horseman. She says it's like her favorite show of all time.
But you have a cool mom then.
Thanks. I'll tell you said that.
But it's, have you watched it?
No, she's like, Jake, it's the best show of all time.
It's the best show of all time.
It's like about depression, right?
It's about depression.
Yeah.
And whenever I feel bad about myself or just want to feel like I'm not alone,
Yeah.
I watch that show.
Yeah.
But it's like the last thing you'd expect a fucking horse talking about being depressed and being an addict. Like,
I think I need to watch it.
it's so, it takes a second to get into it.
Okay.
I recommend it to everybody because if you know me, if you hang out with me a couple times, it's like you already, like, went through a phase where I've probably seen each episode 30 times. I'm not joking. It was my fall asleep to show.
Okay, got it.
Every night.
Yeah.
Where it was just ritual.
Yeah.
Fall asleep to it. But I think I've calmed down on that a little bit because it's to the point where I know every line that's coming up. I can't recite anything, but like I know I'm like, this is not healthy.
That's like me with like Scandal or Glee.
Really?
Yeah.
Glee? Oh my
yeah.
God.
I was
Okay,
like the biggest gleek.
No.
Like the biggest gleek.
I remember, did you ever watch the like the
Glee
auditioning?
Project?
Yeah.
Of course I watched
Of
the Glee
course.
Project
You're
on
like,
Oxygen because I was
yeah.
the biggest Oxygen fan. Like,
Whoa.
yeah.
That name, I forgot that
I
existed.
know. It was like a whole
That's
to do. Do
crazy.
you remember the show Snapped? Where it was like a reality television about like women that committed crimes.
No.
And it was like, do you remember Snapped?
I remember the Legally Blonde when they were all auditioning
Yes.
for Legally Blonde.
God, Oxygen was it for me.
What else? It was all the Ryan
They had
Murphy
bad,
stuff.
yeah, Ryan Murphy stuff. They had Bad Girls Club.
I don't know that. I need to rewatch Glee, and I think my time is now.
I think I'm gonna start too. I know I'm about. Well,
When was the last time? How long has it been?
So the summer I left before college.
Yeah.
That's when I did my first full rewatch, and I've actually finished the show. When I tell you I was so addicted to this fucking show, I never like woken up, watch it immediately on my phone. Like I was like
Drugs.
anywhere I could go, like it was drugs. Like anywhere I could go and I could watch it. Like it was like I was watching this fucking show.
Funny.
Because it was
Out
just
of all shows, Glee. I mean, it's serotonin. I get it. Where it's
is.
like, oh no. It's right. Yeah, it's serotonin. I get it. Yeah. Did you watch that, like, the documentary about the deaths?
I can't have the curtain pulled back just yet. I can't have it pulled back just yet.
It's dark. Yeah, don't do it.
I
Don't do
can't.
it.
I
Don't do it.
can't. Glee is like my.
'Cause
God,
there's a lot of
that was
darkness
like, I
behind
was
it.
like, I am Glee. I think.
Yeah, I
Like this is like I remember that was the first show I ever waited until like I would watch it as it came out, like Wednesdays or Tuesdays at 8 whenever it came out on Fox
I would
or
too.
whatever.
It was like a family affair.
Yes, and I would watch
Yeah.
it, and I would buy the songs
Would
on
you watch it
iTunes
alone
after.
or?
Yeah, my mom was like, no.
No.
My mom
Your
was
mom's
like
too cool
watching
for that?
Mad Men at the time.
My family was obsessed with
Yes,
Mad Men.
my family's obsessed with Sopranos, Mad Men, and BoJack Horseman. Isn't that a random 3?
That's not random. That's taste.
Oh,
I want to meet your family.
no, I think you would like my mom.
Mad Men. Oh my god. My twin dressed up as a random. We hadn't watched Mad Men because it was way too adult.
Right.
But I think it was like 5th grade. She was like, she had these glasses that like went up, and she was like, "I'm a character from Mad Men," and hadn't seen the show.
Wait, so what does your twin do?
She makes claymations.
That's fucking awesome.
It's insane. Yeah. Her name is Ellie. And she's like a genius, truly a genius. I was just in Chicago, and saw her, and it's just nice to go back and see her because she's my best friend.
And you guys were always close growing up, and
Yeah, you go through phases as a twin, and I think we had the same friend group, which is kind of hard. And I was always working, so I was a little disconnected from the friend group. And we were always we were very similar growing up. We would take turns taking on different personalities, I think.
yeah,
But like she was always she was more shy, and then she was more outgoing, and then more popular, and then yada yada. It was really complicated being the same school.
right.
But now that doesn't matter, and like we have our people, none of that matters.
Right. God, it's
So
so funny in
nice.
high school. You're always told like it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. And you're like,
I
shut
truly
up.
didn't care. I
Fuck.
honestly,
Good for you.
because I was working.
Yeah,
I
you-
was like,
yeah.
work first. Like, none of this matters. I'm around adults all day. Like, everybody's a child here. I was a child, but I felt like I was like 14 going on 30.
Right.
Where I think that I was actually more mature than I was now, because now I can actually live in my age and be myself.
Right. You're what, 24, 25?
24.
Got it.
Yeah, how old are you?
25.
Nice.
Yeah.
When did you graduate?
I graduated 2018
Okay,
from high
2019.
school. Yeah,
Nice.
2022 from college.
Nice.
Did Ellie go to college?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
But here I am.
My dad didn't want me to go to college.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, well, don't go. Like, do something creative.
Oh, wow.
I know.
You have a very interesting family.
Sophie, what did we learn today?
What did we learn today? I mean, even just that last thing. I mean, not to be corny, but I admire how honest you are.
Thank
and I don't, like,
you.
I'm not just saying that. Like, I think it's really cool, and you don't get that a lot in interviews where it's like you can talk about things really openly. So I think that's, I don't know. I've always, it was just a reminder, because honesty is everything in artistry in life. So that was just a good reminder.
Oh my God, I'm going to take that with me for the rest of my entire week. Be like, well, Sophie Thatcher told me I was honest and a good interviewer.
I think it's the coolest thing, to be honest. That's the coolest
It
thing you
is,
can do.
Yeah. Well, it's very cathartic for me.
Yeah.
Well, part of my
And that's why
OCD
you're doing this.
Thank you. Well, part of my OCD is I've always felt like since I was little, my anxiety is manifested in guilt, feeling guilty that I'm lying, guilty
Are you
that
kidding?
I'm
That's
not
me.
being
That's me,
like,
me.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that I'm not like just giving the full truth, so I almost overshare to like compensate for that.
Totally.
So it's very cathartic for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, I learned that you're the coolest person ever and so fucking talented and so fun to be around and such a star. And when something really hit me when you were talking about those people that just like take up the scene and something that's something you can't teach in acting school. I was thinking like she has that.
Thank you.
That's her. She has that.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Sophie, thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on.
Thank you.
This was so fun.
I know.
This was awesome. I had a great.
I want to meet
Oh, Brett
or
is Brett.
see her again.
She just texted me and laughed, but she said
Oh.
that hi, and if you want Garrett, she'd send you a tip.
Of course I do. Are you kidding? Can I get the cheese and caramel?
Yes, no, we will. We will send you. You'll have more Garrett than you know what to do with.
Oh my God, amazing. Thank
Well,
you.
Sophie, I love you.
I love you. Thank
I
you.
love you.
Thank you.
Oh,